Okay. Is this okay? Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Hang on, folks. I just got to get this guy situated now. Oh, so now that one. Okay. Uh, okay. Going live on TikTok now. Hello. Going live on TikTok. Okay. Oh my God, this is such chaos. I have so much going on. Ah! Okay. Ugh. Well, situated here. Okay. What actually? Oh crap. Sorry. So sorry. Just fast forward this part, please. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna need. Here we go. Okay, there we are. This is. I don't know. Anyways, uh, so light. It's so dark. Okay, is this lighter? Oh, this is a new webcam. I don't know why it's looking like that. It's like so bright on my phone and then so dark on the webcam. Here, I'll just. There we go. Now y'all can see me. Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. Does that work? Ah, knocking it over. Sorry. Okay. Oh my God, why is it so dark? Anyways, sorry. Oh, here we go. Put that there. No? Anyways, so sorry. It's really dark. The camera's really dark. Anyways, it's so bright here and it's so dark on the webcam. Sorry. Also on YouTube. Okay. Hi, I'm Angie. So, a little bit of background about me. So, I'm a filmmaker, actor, screenwriter, and I have lots of experience in pitching TV shows and film, both to studios, production companies, angel investors. I've pitched to everyone you can think to. So, I've had lots of experience with pitching and also how to get your foot in the door with just a query letter and a really good lookbook. So, my background in that. So, I started off in acting and then I went into screenwriting. And as you know, you kind of just have to make your own, you kind of just have to make your own stuff to get ahead. And it's kind of the world we live in right now. That's what you got to do. So, so I have a lot of experience in all aspects of doing that. And so what we did was I did a lot of networking. So you're gonna have to do a lot of networking, and that's where I met my people. So I met my really good friend Lee, who's a independent filmmaker, and we met really early in our careers, and we've just been doing all of our stuff together. So what you want to do when you're getting started is to find your people, find someone that you can trust and kind of learn with. You're both going to suck at times, but you're going to eventually get a groove with everything. So we did a lot of projects together, and we kind of just he was that kind of guy that just bought his equipment because he knew this was something he was going to do forever, and he just wants to get up, grab his stuff, and go and film whatever, which is great. So I would write and he would film, and that was awesome. And I, funny enough, have never acted in anything he's done. So I think I've never acted. I think maybe one or two things, actually, now that I think about it. But we've done a lot of stuff together. Anyways, so then I got a lot of success with television pitching. What happened was I took a bit of a break from acting after I had my kids, and I the pandemic happened, and me and my best friend, she had a one woman show, and we wanted to collaborate on something together, and we said, okay, well, we're kind of in lockdown right now, so why don't we adapt your one woman show? And this is something that we did. We knew so many horror stories about people that were friends, collaborated on something, and they're not friends anymore. Um, I may have experienced that personally, but it was my fault. But anyways, uh, yeah. So I really, really recommend to put an agreement in place. There's so many people where the expectations aren't clear on what you want to do when you collaborate on something. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. If you want to keep me back on track, just write in the comments if you're like, lady, get back to this thing, please. So I'm new to live. Uh, yeah. So uh, one thing that we discussed was she said, listen, I want to get an agreement in place so we know what's moving forward. And she recently connected with an entertainment lawyer, and we knew we would need one anyways if something happened to this project, because neither of us had literary agents, and our acting agents weren't really gonna. They're like, I don't fucking know what to do with this. So we're like, okay, well, we're gonna need a lawyer moving forward with negotiations. So we thought we would connect with one anyways. It would be a good way to, get connected and start a conversation and a relationship with an entertainment lawyer. So she drafted it with us. The things that she went over with us, we had no idea. So there was expectations on deliverables, what you would deliver, what are you responsible for. There's so many collaborations with friends or whomever that you're writing a project with. You aren't clear on the responsibilities of each person. They're like, well, I did more work or I did more work. But if you have it, hi, good, how are you? Thanks for joining. But if you have it clear in writing right away what the expectations are, then you're good as gold. So that wasn't really a problem with us. Something that we didn't even consider was if something happens to one of us, um, it could be even as far as like if one of us dies, who gets the project, or if like we have our blessing for the other person to move forward without the other person. But there's also shit happens, life happens. There's so many projects that come and go constantly. You can't get married to a project because these things take years to get anywhere. So it was really nice to know, oh, what's going to happen if one of us decides that they don't want to do this anymore? Then can that person just take everything and go? And that's what we decided. Anyways, so moving forward. So now when we get into the pitching phase, what I highly recommend you do is to be very, very clear about your project and be able to practice timing yourself. You don't want to also do like, this is what it is. But you want to have practice with when you first meet the person, you start off with like, hi, how are you? Nice meeting you. And you have like a little bit of banter at the beginning, but then they will invite you to pitch. They'll say, okay, so what do you have for us? And then you say, well, this is a story about blah, blah, blah. And you would pretty much give the log line and the synopsis. And you can even go into if it's an interesting story of how this came about. So there's usually some sort of personal connection to the story in some level, because that's something that they're looking for. They're looking for why are you the person to tell this story? Why should we trust you with this story? If anyone could write this script, if anyone can tell the story, why are you specifically important for this story to be told? And why your voice? So after you go into the synopsis of why, then you can tell them, well, this came about from this, and this was birthed in this way, and this is how we got connected. And we have like my partner and I had a really cute story about how we were in lockdown and we both were pregnant and wrote this story together pregnant and we in between naps. So it's a cute little story. They get to know about us. They know that we're moms and we made the story together and that we're best friends. The biggest thing, if you have a writing partner, they want to understand your relationship because fallout happens all the time. They want to know that you're a solid team. So having a contract in place also gives them a little bit of relief. Also knowing that you have a long relationship with this person. If you're like, oh, this is the first thing we collaborated on and we only knew each other for like 6 months, or like, ooh, they don't really want to take a risk on a new team. Because there's just so many factors in place and there's so many personalities as is. You want the least amount of drama when you go, like you want the drama on camera, not behind the camera. So that is the biggest thing that they will ask about when dealing with that. Like we couldn't even get literary agents because we've been friends for 10 years and worked together for 10 years, but this was the first written collaboration. And literary agents didn't want to risk it, even though we had a solid friendship. Yeah, so I also just wanted to go over. So that's the pitching phase. So now, when you get into the details of the pitching, what you do, you have the banter, you tell them the scene. They're going to have questions. They're going to have questions for you. So make sure that you are prepared for the questions. If you are pitching a television series, they, more than anything other than the story, they really want to know who the main character is, because why are we following this person for X amount of years? They want something that's going to last. It's not anymore they're more looking for not serialized, they're looking for episodic a little bit more now. They want kind of that security. Obviously, now the industry is very unstable. So they want more of a tried and true thing. So if you can have really dynamic, interesting characters, they're going to be more interested in that. So that is something that you really need to hone in on, is your main character and why we're following this person and their journey and what it is that triggered the journey of the pilot. So that is something else you have to consider. So now you get through the pitch, you talk about your movie, you talk about your show, you talk about everything that's going on. And they ask you, who else are you talking to, or have you talked to somebody else? And then they ask for all of the material. So like pretty much you've already, at this point in the pitch, you've already submitted your Bible and your like whatever lookbook or for documents or anyone that's attached. You've already submitted that to them. Anyone that is attached usually is on the pitch meeting. In our case, it was literally just me and my writing partner, and it was collaborating with production companies. And we even had a couple of meetings with, we had a meeting with Paramount, we had a meeting with MGM, we had meetings with networks as well. So sometimes that just happens. It's just the writer and they want to get to know new writers. The thing with new writers, you got to know, is your pilot is your calling card. So they especially now, they're not going to take a risk on a new person like they would earlier. But it gets you into the door. If you have a great pilot, they want to meet you. They want to know, who is this writer, because they're going to have things down the line. And it's about connecting with that person. And it's about getting to know fresh talent. So I would be intimidated if you are starting out in the industry and you feel like, oh, no one's going to want to talk to me because I'm a nobody. That's not true. They're looking for new talent all the time. They might not use you right away, but you're going to be useful for them sometime. If you're talented, people will flock to you. So just get really good at writing and get on board. Now, so that's pitching. So what is going on with the industry right now? A lot of you know it's pretty much of a shit show, but this is a prime opportunity for people in film and television, because as much as it sucks that, you know, calls aren't being given to you, this is a really good time right now to really hone in on your craft and get really, really good. So when things do start up again, you'll be ready and you'll knock it out of the park. So something that I would really recommend is I'm seeing lost connection. Oh no. I think, oh, that's why I never go into this room because the connection sucks. Oh no. All right, let's see if that worked a little better. Oh no. So sad. See, that's also another problem. So it's either I don't have connection or my kids are really loud. Sorry. We're gonna have to deal with them screaming because or else I don't have a connection. Ooh, that's sad. Um, so where was I? um, all right, so you've done the pitching phase and now it's getting ready. But if you're just starting out, I reckon because the industry right now is a little wonky, a little unstable. This is a time that you want to be undeniably good at what you do. So, this is a great time for you to take a step back, really finish those scripts that you've been wanting to work on, get them polished, like really polished. You got to do the work, you have to get coverage. You will not score a meeting with a producer that's worth a damn if you do not have coverage. Even if they like your script, they will ask you, is there coverage on this? I have had someone read one of my features. They liked it. And for her to talk to her, for her to be able to pitch this to the people up, she had to know that there was coverage done. Even if there was like a guarantee that some coverage was done on it, then she could feel comfortable because they're not even going to look at it if there was no coverage because there are thousands and thousands of screenwriters and just a tiny handful that are good because I don't know if you've read some of your peers writing, it's a little tough to get through. So reading a bad script is very, very painful. So they want to limit as much pain and discomfort as humanly possible. And that's where coverage comes in. You have to get coverage. So go to there's coverfly.com. If you go to Coverfly, then they have a list of I think like 40,000 screenwriters that are listed, and they have contests, coverage material, all this stuff. Also, when you submit, the good thing is if you want to submit to a contest, there's coverage included sometimes with submission. It depends on which one you submit to, but if you get that done, because when you do get coverage and you do get a passive or a stamp of approval, then you can move on and start pitching. You cannot pitch until you get coverage because they want to see that in the subject line that it's been recommended, that it's been considered, even considered, which isn't obviously you want to get the recommend, but if you can get it consider at least, they'll open it and look into it. And even if you have, I mean, if it's a Mickey Mouse contest, they don't really care. You don't have to, you could put award-winning writer in the subject line. You have to get coverage. So if you do get the stamp of approval, if you do get a recommend, you put in the subject line recommended by We Screenplay or whatever coverage company gave you the approval for the script. Then a producer will open the email. If it's not there, if there's no evidence that this is a good writer, they're not going to open it. So either have that, or if like a Nichols award-winning writer, like, you know, they're going to open it. So they want to have some kind of stamp of approval. We did that. We had, you know, recommended by We Screenplay, and then we had the title of the thing. So that was the subject line, and we got tons of reviews and requests, script requests from just the query letter. We got into many doors just from the query letter. But before you even do that, you have to get coverage. So, moving on from there, you have to know how to set yourself up for success. So, this is the perfect time for filmmakers, writers, screenwriters, actors. Even if you, I know everyone that works in film wants to be a director. So, it's a good chance for you to collaborate with other people and get more work out there. But this is a prime time for you to really focus. What's your pronouns? She, her. This is a prime time for you to really hone in on your craft, get really good while the industry is slowing down, and also get yourself out there. So get your name out there, be on social media, talk about what you know, help other people with whatever information. Take courses on anything that you lack. So not only in the film industry, but like for instance, I took a digital marketing course because I didn't even know what a sales funnel was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. I kind of just lived in my filmmaking bubble, but you have to know how to use the internet as your friend to get yourself out there and to get your own projects made, because if you're just going to be waiting around for someone to do it for you, it's just not going to happen. Even making your own projects isn't enough. You have to be able to document it. You have to be able to put on social media. You have to know how to leverage social media to get what you want. So it's one of those magical wands. If you can figure out social media, then you're going to get whatever you want, basically. If you understand how to use the internet to make money and to raise money for your film, you're good as rain. Because is that the line? Good as rain? Is that anyways? But in the comments if that's the line. um, but yeah, like for instance, right now I took a digital marketing course and I learned about branding, about branding, social media, mindset, organizing, all the things that you need to do to build an online business. And you have to see yourself as an entrepreneur. You can't just see yourself as an artist, as a filmmaker, writer. You have to see yourself as an entrepreneur, because then you're going to see more opportunities than the limited things that you've been seeing already. And that was my problem, is that I just, whoops, knocked over my laptop. No biggie. Um, I had very limiting beliefs. I had very narrow set of, like, I had a lot of blinders, is what I'm trying to say. I had a lot of blinders on. So when you have your blinders on, you can't see possibilities, you can't see opportunities that are coming your way, and you can't even accept the opportunities. I've missed out on so many opportunities because I just didn't see it. And because I couldn't see it, because I couldn't see myself doing it, I missed out on a lot of things. And also just confidence too. Like it really builds your confidence to know how to do these things and how to get yourself out there, because knowing how to market yourself is putting you at the 1%. So use the downtime in the film industry to learn how to market, learn how to be an entrepreneur, learn the proper mindset to get yourself out there. So when things do pick up, they already know who you are because they have your social media. You are already out there. You become valuable for people. So you immediately become more valuable just from knowing how to do marketing. Marketing is just so, so important. And I know we all know it's important, but to actually understand that it's accessible, and it was something that I just didn't think I could get a grasp of. I was like, oh, I'm just not there. I'm just not that person. But you just need the proper tools. I didn't have access to any of this stuff 10 years ago when I was filmmaking. So um, to now have, there's so many courses out there, like beast of courses that are tailored to entrepreneurship, building. Like you can get a course for anything and you can get it cheap too. So, you got to expand yourself. Tell the algorithm what you're looking for. Tell the algorithm what you're looking for, what you are lacking, what you want to learn. It'll tell you. It'll tell you. Um, and I really think you need to take the opportunity. And who here is a filmmaker or a screenwriter? Because right now it's a great time to take advantage of the business being really slow right now. Because when things, I was there when things were really going fast, when they were taking all the TV shows and taking everything they could, and because they just wanted content, they didn't care if it was any good, they just wanted content. And it feels like you almost can't keep up, and you're giving things that aren't really done, that are kind of half-assed because they just want the content. It doesn't really speak to who you are, and you're just like, okay, whatever, just take it. So it really limits your creativity. So if you can find control over your career and learn the skills that you need to learn to get ahead, why not? I need water. Anyways, have I seriously only been here for 26 minutes? It's exhausting. Oh, okay. Where does it say that? Lost connection. Oh, God. This is the problem. Is like the connection here is so bad. Oh, probably move somewhere else. That's why I couldn't use this. That's why I couldn't use this room. I was like, why don't I use this room more often? That's why. Bad connection. Okay. Oops. Okay. Sorry, I'm also live on YouTube. Okay. Are you good? Okay. Sorry. Figuring out YouTube here. Okay. All right. So, all right. Invite to join live. Yes. Okay. Hello, Lucas. So I'm now going to move to kind of what is happening here? Okay. Don't know what's going on. That's okay. I've gotten really good at writing backwards. But anyways, so all right. I hope the connection lasts. Anyways, all right. So moving on. So now what we're going to talk about is what? Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. Live stream. Okay. All right. So super exciting news. I want to get on to talk about, so what is going on right now? So a bit of my story is I'm a screenwriter and filmmaker, and my writing partner and I pitched a bunch of networks and production companies our television show, and we got into a lot of doors using query letters, and like we're nobodies. And so we got into the door without an agent, and we only got it with query letters and the Bible. People love the Bible. They love the query letter. That will get you into the door. We got into many doors. We saw MGM. We saw Paramount Plus. We saw CBC. We're Canadian. So we got into a lot of the networks in Canada. I think we met with every network in Canada, which is like 4. And a lot of production companies. So like some of the top production companies that did like Orphan Black. And yeah. So we also, it's pretty cool because we met with Anthony Farrell, and he was one of the writers on The Office, and he has his own show now. And he was a big advocate of ours to find us a showrunner, and we connected with one right now. But then, of course, the strikes happened and things kind of went to shit. So at that point, I've been at the game for about 20 years, and I was like, I need a fucking break. I need a break. Things are slow as hell right now. So I decided to take the time. First of all, I just had a second kid at this point, and she was about to have her second kid. So we weren't able to do anything anyways. She was about to, like, our last meeting, then like 4 days later, she went into labor. So like that was the end of it. But yeah, so she had her second kid, and I said, well, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life, because um I need something other than screenwriting. It's not something I can rely on as income. So I need to find something else. So the problem with working in film and television and devoting your life to film and television, it requires you to devote your life to film and television. You don't really have transferable skills in the workforce. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go do my own thing, because this is just not gonna work. I'm not gonna find another job why is this so dark? Oh my God. There we go. Oh my God. This YouTube live, it's so dark. It's so bright here and so dark here. Weird. Anyways. So what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh my God, this is so dark. Why? Oh, what? No, that's not what I want. Oh. That doesn't work. No. Oh, so strange. Anyways, I have a webcam I'm on YouTube Live, and it's just really dark. Anyways. Anywho, so oh wait, I'm just gonna see here. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, so I took the time off from screenwriting and acting to learn how to be an entrepreneur and how to market myself. So I took UBC course, which also, by the way, is having the UBC course is having a webinar coming at 6 o'clock today. It's super, super cool. Message me or DM me if you want a link to the webinar, because normally it's exclusive to members, but because they're celebrating 4 new modules that's coming out, we're allowed to invite people to the webinar. So it's giving you a lot of information on new tips and tricks on it's all about branding. So it's all about personal branding, digital marketing, email marketing, all these things. And I didn't even know what a sales funnel was. Didn't know what a sales funnel was. Didn't know anything about digital marketing. And I just had to start from scratch, start from zero. And I started in the spring, and I went from not knowing anything and to constantly wonder, how am I going to make money, to now having too many options. And my problem is I'm seeing too many ways to make money, and then I can't decide on how I'm going to do that. So that was what was causing me problems. Is I was like, oh my God, there's so many ways that you can make money now. What do I do? So I had to find what was right for me. And I found that there's a lot of people in film and television right now that are really struggling. Gaffer scripts, a lot of crew members, people, wardrobe, makeup, everyone is having a really, really hard time right now. So I thought if I could find a way to help my community, then I think I found my thing. So what I did is I created my first digital product. I'm excited. So it's called the Hollywood Blueprint Bundle. And in there you have templates of everything that I'm talking about right now. So if you want a contract agreement, if you want a list of cast and crew and the budgets, templates for that, if you want equipment lists, that includes also special effects. So if you're doing a horror film, which is very common, you need to know how much squibs cost. You need to know if you need a gun wrangler, all these things. So that is also in the bundle. I have, the contracts, I have the query letter that got me into the door. I have a template for that and how you can create your own query letter, your own pitch deck, which includes the lookbook, Bible, how to put yourself together, get into a room and get the best results you can. And that's going to take a bit because the industry is slow right now. So to prepare yourself for when that, you first of all make sure your script is like top notch, because if it's not, you don't even have a high concept, then it's just not going to work. So but in the meantime, there's also a bunch of guides that I have there for marketing. So how to set yourself up to understand social media, how to put yourself out there, how to monetize the skills that you do have, and to help the community that you're a part of. So that is also the guides that are in there. On top of everything else, the entire bundle, you can edit and resell yourself. So that is also something that you can use for personal finance, or if you want to use it to finance your first short film or 10th short film, whatever. But that is something that you can do, just as food for thought. I do got to get going, but this was great. Sorry. I'm going to end this now because I got to hop on to Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I will be there live as well. I need water desperately. All right. How do I end this here? Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.